The views expressed on Teachavision are those of the interviewee and interviewer and do not represent Screenless Allies as a whole. Hello there, and welcome to Teachavision episode number 28, where everyone has a different vision of learning. And on this part, we have made it to the end of the interview with Mr. Bill McCann. And on this part, it's all about closing thoughts, along with a demonstration of the software that he made. Please note this demonstration is audio only. If you wish to see what's on the screen, we're going to post a link to Dancing Dot's YouTube channel, so that way you can look at all the videos they have to offer on this software. He will be using the JAWS for Windows screen reader, which, for those that don't know, a screen reader basically reads a computer screen to you. He'll be using JAWS for Windows to drive the software, along with a Braille display, which is basically a Braille screen. We encourage you to check out the latest episodes of Teachavision to learn more about all these products. And now, without further ado, the final part of the interview with Mr. Bill McCann, and we will start with the demonstration of the software. So, Mr. Bill, take it away, sir, right here on Teachavision by Screenless Allies.
All right, I have here a piece by Chopin that a customer sent to me, actually, and he found this online as a format called Music XML. And Music XML is a text-based format that allows you, if you made your score in a program aside from Lime, like say a program like Finale or Sibelius or dozens of others that you can use to get your print music onto the screen. So somebody made this Chopin piece and then they exported it to Music XML, which can be imported into our software. For me, Music XML is the next best thing to Braille music that ever happened to blind musicians, because it's a mainstream technology and we benefit from it, because I didn't do anything. I just pretty much imported this file into Lime. If I go to the file menu, and I type I for import
submenu, I, Music XML,
and then
X.
I just browse to where I had the Music XML file and import it. But that step's already done, so I'm going to
Chopin Waltz in a...
First, I'm going to play you a bit of it, because Lime allows me to HEAR, hear. So press Control H for hear dialog.
Hear HIR 100. Hear specified parts.
Okay, I'm going to hit enter. This is a piece for piano, of course. Here we go.
Enter. Chopin Waltz. End playback.
Okay, so that's all great, but let's...
Chopin Waltz in a flat op 30.
In a flat. In A flat, but it's in a flat. So let's see. Well, I'm running our software. Again, it has interactive features. So I can do stuff like, hey, what bar am I in? I type the letter B.
Bar 24, beat 1.
So I'm right at the beginning of bar 24. I'm going to move back a few measures.
Bar 22, beat 1. I flat 5, half dotted, slur. Bar 15, beat 1. D flat 5, 8, slur to next.
Okay, so it played the current note, played that D flat, and it described it.
D flat 5, 8, slur to next.
So D flat 5 means it's a D flat in the fifth octave, it's an eighth note in duration, and it's slurred to the next note. And on my Braille display, I have the music to the current measure, and right in the beginning of the measure, there's a sixth octave E. You can learn the music that way, but of course, I think Braille music is the best thing, and so you can get all that information by touching it in about a nanosecond, where it takes a while to say something like
E flat 5, 8, slur to next.
Yeah. It just takes a little time. But some people don't read Braille, and some people can't see, even when you magnify the music, they can't see it. So the talking score feature is helpful, and we have some customers who've learned a lot of music using that feature. But anyway, so I can go through
Bar
here
50.
note by note.
Beat 1, beat 2, beat 2 point, beat 3,
Or
E flat 4,
I can
8.
go through chord by chord. This is a little transition. There we go.
Bars. Beat 3. Bar 20 beat.
Yeah, you can kind of step through the music in different ways. You can even tell the screen reader, in this case JAWS.
Question mark.
JAWS.
Full stop. Lime navigation speaking is off. Silencio.
Silencio. So now I can go through it without hearing all that stuff. And I'm just hitting the arrow keys on the numpad. And again, I can either hear the current line or everybody's, the right and left hand together. So that's what we call a talking score feature. And the print music is on the screen. Braille music is on the Braille display. We can hear the musical pitches and we can hear the verbal description. If we want a complete score, I go to the file menu of Lime.
File menu.
Alt F. And
Quit Lime. Launch Goodfeel.
I launch Goodfeel. And
Enter.
Basically Lime says, hey,
Chopin Waltz in a
Goodfeel,
flat.
I want a Braille copy of this Chopin Waltz. And it takes a few seconds, but Goodfeel is chewing on it. And it's going to come up in a second and give us some options for looking at it.
Braille destination.
Okay, so there it says you can look at it.
Braille editor button.
In a Braille editor.
Embosser edit.
Or you can send it to an embosser.
Braille editor.
I'm going to look at it in the editor.
Enter.
Now, this is like looking at it in Notepad, let's say. So this does not have the talking score feature. It's just like formatted Braille file. But it's going to open it up here in a little program that Albert made called Braille View. And so this is the way it's going to look on the embosser. And I can see the title is Centered Waltz in A flat. It's page 1, the arrow down. Well, you can hear that.
Comma, waltz in comma, a dash comma, flat number.
And the commas are the Braille capitals.
Comma, opus number CD, comma, number 4 number.
So that's opus 34, number 1.
Semicolon, comma, F4, comma, Chopin.
F Chopin.
Blank. Comma, keyboard.
And
blank.
It's music for keyboard.
Comma, Vivace 4.
And it's Vivace, that's fine, but then it's half note equals 84, 4 flats, 3/4 time. That doesn't sound very good with JAWS in this kind of notepad thing. When we're in Lime, we've made that stuff talk. But in here, it just sounds like something like this.
A period greater apostrophe greater F semicolon B dot 8 quote dot.
Yeah, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. So usually when I go into this Braille view, I turn JAWS into speech on demand mode and just look at the Braille. But anyway, as you said, we can emboss it, but the nice thing too is in here, we go to File Save As.
Alt F, leaving menus, edit.
And you can save it as a formatted.
Save as dialog.
Braille file.
Save as type. Goodfeel. Formatted Braille files. Enter. Formatted Braille files. 2 of 3.
And so
file name.
It comes out as, let's say, Chopin BRF.
Chopin.brf.
And so you can take that BRF file.
Enter.
And bring it over to your note taker, your Humanware note taker, your Mantaskew, or your Q Braille from HIMS, or your whatever device you have, your L Braille from Freedom. And you can read it when you're sitting on the bus or whatever, coming to school. You can study it because it's your Braille score. It's like any other Braille file.
Menu.
So yeah,
mute button.
That's kind
escape.
of the tour on the software. The other thing I'll mention again, Limelighter has all this stuff. Instead of showing the Braille, it shows really big magnified notes and shows them very clearly. If you want to have some fun and look at some of this stuff in more detail, on YouTube we have a channel called Dancing Dots Music, and it has some different things. It has some fun stuff too. It has me singing a song I wrote a while back called The Ballad of the Google Car, which is all about this blind guy who dreams about the first time he gets into his self-driving Google car and goes out on the road, and some of the things that happen to him. I am riding in my Google car. There's nobody driving on the road all alone, just potholes, Siri and me. But most of it is you can get different views of the software. We have a nice recording of a kid, actually from the Texas School for the Blind a few years ago, using his Limelighter in a guitar ensemble in a rehearsal. Yeah, we have a bunch of different stuff. Dancing Dots Music on YouTube if you want to check that out.
Too bad they didn't record me messing with the embosser that day.
I know, that would have been classic.
Blind guy messes with embosser and breaks it. Yes, sir. I do want to make a bit of a correction for you here. The channel's actually Dancing Dots Access.
I knew that, actually. I was waiting to see if you were listening. Yeah, Dancing Dots Access. You know what it is? I think we're Dancing Dots Music on Facebook.
Oh, okay. We will definitely get that social media and put that on the show notes for sure. And I'll say that in the end credits as well. So that way people can go give you a follow. Do you have a Twitter?
I do have a Twitter. I don't use Twitter that much. I've never become like a real Twitter master, but once in a while I'll put out a tweet. It's Dancing Dots Tech.
Mr. Bill, I really, really, really appreciate you doing this for me. Again, I've learned quite a bit. And I think after all these parts on the Teachavision podcast, I think everyone else learned a lot from it as well. And I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to help me. Now, of course, for everyone that does not know, this is divided into parts. So if you got to this point, seriously, thank you all for listening, because this interview was completely worth it. And I appreciate you, sir, coming on and sharing all your experiences with you from childhood to being an entrepreneur to now your success story known as Dancing Dots. Seriously, my hat goes off to you if I had a hat, because I don't have a hat. So
You're pretty funny. You're a pretty funny guy. You know, if this other stuff doesn't work out, you know, stand-up comedy, even sit-down comedy is pretty good. You could probably do it. It has been my pleasure. Thank you so much. It's been kind of fun to take a minute or take a couple hours, as it turned out, to look back a bit, talk about where, you know, the roots of where I came from, where the company came from, where we are now, and where we hope to get to. We're all about literacy. We're all about helping people be more independent, helping people to get included more. So that's kind of like, really, when you boil it down, that's what we want to do. That's a big passion for me. And so, you know, it's been fun to see a lot of that happen and to see it continue to happen. And you've been part of that journey. It's been fun to kind of catch up with you and reconnect it through all this good stuff.
Yes, sir. You know, I'm really grateful that my orientation mobility specialist at the time, you know, told me a lot about you. And I really wanted to meet you in 6th grade. And, you know, that was 2006. I never thought it would happen. And it was a dream come true for me. I was so excited when that happened. So, I mean,
That's
I was
fun to hear.
Yes, sir. I was that, you know, girl wants to meet boy band kind of thing, but vice versa. You know, guy wants to, blind little kid wants to meet very talented musician that made the software. So when I was able to meet you, I remember I came back and I told my instructor, I said, Mr. Smith, I finally got to meet, you know, Mr. Bill McCann. It was great. Well, that's good, buddy. Well, here's what we're going to do. I want you to use your cane and I want you to find this object right over here. So it was great getting to meet you, and we're finally connected with all this technology. And Mr. Brill, I hope that at some point when you come out with something that you think would be good for people, that you consider Teachavision as your platform to talk about it and give us a preview. Because
hey, thanks. You know, I'll definitely keep that in mind. And let me just say real quick, 2 things that I did not mention. They're not our products, but when we find a Braille product we think is really cool, we like to help people sell it and promote it. 2 examples are something called the 6-dot Braille label maker, that you can sit down with this little gadget. It has a Braille Perkins keyboard, Braille on it, and it spits out a little Dymo label. Press a button, it cuts it for you and peels it off, and you got your label. You can even attach a QWERTY keyboard to it, and somebody who does not know Braille can make you a Braille label just by typing. The other cool product that we are officially distributing in North America is called the Canute 360. It's the first multi-line Braille device. It's a 940 cell lines of Braille. We're having a lot of fun showing that and selling that. So if you go to dancingdots.com, you can read up a bit about the 6-dot and the Canute, as well as all our music stuff.
And Mr. Bill, if anyone wants to get a hold of you or any of the staff at Dancing Dots, how can we get a hold of you?
Well, there's a contact us on our dancingdots.com. That's probably the simplest thing. We do have a Facebook page, but we are not real good about keeping up with Facebook. Once in a while, I go over there and see that somebody messaged me like 2 months ago. It was a little embarrassing. But probably best thing would be the contact form from the website. Of course, you can call, but a lot of my days these days I'm spending on our own Zoom presentations or other people's Zoom presentations, and I can't always pick up. And since the pandemic, I'm typically alone in the office. We don't have other people working here. So, you know, if the phone rings and I'm doing something else, I can't talk to you. So it's always best to make an appointment these days. I think that's the best shot of having time to make a conversation. But yeah, I'd love to hear from people. If you're a user, you may know that we have different listservs that we support for Goodfield, for Limelighter. We have one called D.L that is more about audio production. That's a good way if you have a tech or a how-to question, because Albert or I or other users can answer you. You typically get an answer way faster, usually from an expert user somewhere else than from us. So that's also a nice thing. But go to dancingdots.com, and I think it says contact us, and then I'll get those.
Yes, sir. Well, I do appreciate you sharing that. And yeah, the listservs are also pretty good. I've seen them. I need to subscribe to one of them because I actually am curious to know a little bit more. And also I can share my embosser expertise. So
That's right. Just things slow down. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. But Mr. Bill, again, thank you, sir, for everything. We look forward to hopefully getting to interview you again in the future with something that's new and groundbreaking.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to coming down to Texas again. I haven't been for a while, and we got to get together face to face one of these days.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Okay.
This concludes the interview that I did with Dancing Dots founder, Mr. Bill McCann. I want to personally thank Mr. Bill for taking time out of his schedule and allowing me to do this interview. I learned quite a bit, and I am very honored that he took time to be on a small podcast like Teachavision. Honestly, my heart is very big, and to be honest, I'm a little teary-eyed because somebody as big as he is in the blindness industry in regards to music production normally wouldn't do something like this. But thank you, Mr. Bill. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to interview you for those 2 hours it took to get it done. The current background track is a song composed by Mr. Bill himself and played on trumpet by him called My People. Meanwhile, if you wish to learn more, I encourage you to visit dancingdots.com. dancingdots.com. All one word. Follow them on Facebook, Dancing Dots Music. Twitter, Dancing Dots Tech. All one word. And we also encourage you to visit their YouTube channel, Dancing Dots Access. We also encourage you to take a look at other things he distributes, like books to learn Braille music, from the beginner to the genius. He also has, as he mentioned, the 6-dot label maker product that we will put on the show notes, along with other things like audio gear and keyboards. And this concludes Teachavision number 28. We also encourage you to check out our website at screenlessallies.com. screenlessallies.com. Facebook, facebook.com/ScreenlessAlliesOfficial. And if you want to email us or let us know what you think of the podcast, then we encourage you to do so. info@ScreenlessAllies.com. Once again, thank you everyone for listening to this long extended interview with Mr. Bill McCann, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening.